Hey, it's Iran here. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about AI, artificial intelligence, and how I use that to grow my business. So there is absolutely no denying that AI is already transforming the way that we are doing business, the way we're interacting with other people, the content creation. And also, I've learned that a lot of people actually use AI and ChatGPT also as their therapist, as their counselor, and things along these lines. So it's actually quite incredible how much it's evolving and integrating into our life in many ways. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you some business use cases on how I use AI in my business to be able to grow it. And also, I'll give you a couple of bonus tips on things that I'm exploring with AI, which aren't necessarily business focused, but they do help me live a better life and save me time as a general thing. Because, we are here for a finite amount of time. Our time is non-refundable. And so anything we do to save time in our day-to-day, I think is a valuable thing to do. Even if it's not specifically business oriented, I think if we can save time to eliminate manual tasks or tedious tasks, I think it's a great way to be able to have more time for things that we want to do or spend more time on our business. With that said, let's dive in with how I use AI to grow my business. So the first thing I do is a lot of voice notes. And these voice notes are using an app called voicenotes.com. And that particular app allows me to basically record voice notes on the phone, on the go, in an app. And when I do that, it will actually transcribe the voice note and allow me to download the voice note and use it in other ways, like if I want to use it inside a course area or use it in an Instagram reel or something along these lines. And also, I can actually share this voice note with other people. Now, it doesn't end there. When I actually record the voice note, whether it's for my own personal reminders or my own personal use or to share with other people, what I do with the transcript is I then use that transcript to repurpose it to other use cases and other things. For example, if I want to send an email to my list, sometimes I have a blank page and I know what I want to tell my audience, what story I want to tell them, but I'm just either not in a position to actually write it at that particular moment because I'm not at my computer, or B, I just don't really feel like sitting down and writing it necessarily. So what I would do is I would literally pull up my phone and I would record a voice note to myself, basically, telling a specific story about what it is that I want to share with my email list. Now, that particular story would go on for 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. And then what I do is I take that particular transcript, I copy it from the app, and I upload it, that transcript, to ChatGPT. Now, you can use ChatGPT just like anyone else. What I've done is I've actually created something that's called Custom GPT, which is actually a specific type of ChatGPT, but it's custom to a specific use case. In my case, I created a custom GPT that I trained to write the way I like to write. And I like to write the same way for my blog posts, for my emails, for Facebook comments, and all that. And the way I like to write is with short sentences. And also, I don't like paragraphs. I like to have things sentence by sentence by sentence with space in between. I find that people read it a lot easier. It's a lot more easy to digest, especially if you're reading on mobile. And that's just how I want to write. And so I trained the custom GPT to write like me with that particular format. Also, I told the custom GPT to not have those dashes, those long dashes that are always added when you use ChatGPT, which is kind of a giveaway like, oh, you're using AI. So I said, don't use those because that's not how I write. Another thing is I actually took a lot of my old blog posts, previous blog posts that I've personally written, email marketing, sales pages, and so on, and I uploaded to ChatGPT to train my custom GPT to write in a way that I would write. Use my terminology, use my language, don't use difficult words, things along these lines. And finally, what I told my custom GPT is I wanted to write using my own language. When it actually summarizes the transcript, use my transcript when I upload it. Don't go and scour the internet to basically write that particular email. So I also trained it to be very focused where it's actually my content, not someone else's. And so this is an important distinction. So if I post something to ChatGPT, it will scour the internet and use whatever knowledge and information and library of content, which is everything, it's been trained on. It's not original to me. And so the custom GPT, I use that to write my own content to save me time that way by A, recording a voice note, B, getting the transcript, C, uploading it to my custom GPT for blog post / email creation. So that's what I do. And I use that not just for emails, I use it also for blog posts. I also use it for YouTube descriptions. I also use it for responding to people's comments and answering people's questions in my memberships and in my Facebook groups. So now that you get a bit of a taste on my custom GPTs, I'm going to tell you about the 2 custom GPTs that I personally created and used for myself. So number 1, I already told you about the custom GPT for blog posts, emails, and all that. That is like the write like a run custom GPT. The second one is a sales page generator. You see, I have a lot of offers that I put together, digital products and things along these lines, and I want to save time on writing content for myself. And also, I want to save time when I'm working with clients if I'm helping them with writing copy for their sales pages, landing pages, things along these lines. So what I've done is I've taken all my previous sales pages and formulas that I typically use in writing sales pages, and I train Custom GPT to write like me with specific formulas as well. For example, a formula of a headline, a subheadline, 3 bullets about who is it for or who is it not for, or the pain points, and then testimonials and FAQs and features benefits and guarantee and all that stuff. And so what I do is, let's say I want to create a brand new offer. What I would do is I would use voicenotes.com to record my pitch or my business idea. And I would just go and record and do a bit of a brain dump for like 10 minutes about the entire business idea. I will then take that transcript, and instead of feeding it into the blog custom GPT, which is just going to summarize it, I put it in the sales page custom GPT. Now what that does is it will formulate the offer sales page using this information in the specific framework. Now, sometimes the information I give is not exactly everything that's needed for the sales page. So what it will do is it will ask me a question. Based on that, we're going to give you a headline. Here's 3 ideas for the headline. Does this seem suitable? Because it gives me 3 ideas. And I'm like, okay, yeah, headline number 1, I like. Headline number 2, not so much. Headline number 3 is really good. Can we maybe combine headline 1 and headline number 3? And it will create something. Once I approve, it will say, okay, great. Let's do the subheadline. Okay, great. Let's talk about the pain points. Okay, great. Let's do some FAQs and let's do some features benefits. And it will literally walk me through the entire steps. Once it does the entire thing, it's all formulated, it will ask me for 2 different things. It will ask me, do you want me to give it to you on a Google Doc? And option number 2 is it will ask me, or would you like me to formulate and design it in System.io? Now, it won't actually design it on System.io, but it will do is it will actually give me the outline of how it will be listed on System.io, section by section by section by section by section. Here's what that means. That means that it will basically say, section number 1, have 2 rows. On the row on the left, what you want to do is put the headline. Here, put a picture. Section number 2, have it short and have bullet points. And it will just go through the steps like that throughout the entire thing. When to put the call to action button, when to put the pricing information, where should the button go, all that good stuff. And it will literally list the entire thing for me. So that is the custom GPT for writing sales pages, which I personally use in my business. The next way that I use AI in my business is actually Canva AI. Now, Canva AI is something that is continuing to evolve, and I am blown away with what can be done with it. So I'll give you an example of something that I created on Canva, and this is something that is so uncommon. Canva Code allows you to actually create apps inside Canva and use them. So I created an app called UTM Link Generator, and you see it right here. So what are UTM tags? Essentially, if you are putting a link on a YouTube description or on a blog post or something along these lines, then people are going to click on it and go to your website and maybe buy something. Now, when you are becoming a little bit more savvy as a business owner, you want to know, where are people coming from? Where am I getting traffic? Where is my efforts worth investing more into? And so UTM tags allow you to track where are people coming from by installing simple pieces of code on your links. And so previously I had to Google link generator for UTM tags and find something along these lines and then add the information. And that's fine, that was still available. Now what I've done is I've created an app for my own use and for my customers' use as well, which is a UTM link generator, which does the exact same functionality, a little bit easier to use, I feel. And it's something that I can just go to anytime that I want without having to Google and find that particular tool because I've created it for myself. And so this is something that I've created, and this is created on Canva. This is not a design tool. This is a software. Now, this particular software was created on Canva, hosted on Canva. So Canva Code AI has basically opened up the possibilities that Canva is no longer just a design tool. You don't just use it to create Facebook posts or YouTube thumbnails or presentations or slides or quotes or anything along these lines. You can actually create simple software tools which not only are able to be usable for you, they also can act as a lead magnet, which is what this particular UTM software is for. I'll give you a specific example. You're going to see this particular tool on the screen. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to see that I have a link there that's going to take them to a checklist on installing Google Analytics. The reason I have that is because in order to see where traffic are coming from and to see the UTM tags, you need to have Google Analytics installed and be able to see where people are coming from. That's where the statistics are recorded. And so some people don't have Google Analytics installed, and I want to give them a lead magnet. I want to give them instructions on how to do that, so I have a checklist on how to do that. But I also know some people are going to struggle with doing it themselves. And so I have a service where people can pay for a one-on-one session with my VA, my virtual assistant team, to install Google Analytics. And so the funnel is provide UTM link generator for free, great service, free. At the bottom, install Google Analytics, checklist for free. And if they want to actually get help, they can pay my VA to actually set it up. And so that way, I've got this entire simple funnel that is created using Canva. Now, I've got other simple software tools that I've created using Canva. More information on that is going to be available somewhere around here, where I actually did a YouTube live where I talked about Canva AI and different apps that I've created using it. So I definitely recommend you check it out. There is no doubt that there are so many other possibilities on what you can use AI for. And if you have anything that you're using AI for, I would love for you to comment below. I would love to learn more about what you're doing with AI because we can all learn from each other. So to give you a quick recap on the things that I do, voice notes using voicenotes.com, ChatGPT using CustomGPTs, and thirdly, Canva AI. Those are the three primary uses of AI that I do in my business. I also use it in my personal life when I travel, because I do travel a lot. For example, if I'm going to a restaurant, there's no English menu, I will basically take a screenshot of the menu and translate it using CustomGPT. If I'm going to a new landmark and I can actually take a picture of that particular landmark, tell it where I am, and then ask it for the little backstory. So it acts as my tour guide. If I want to book accommodation somewhere, I can actually ask what is the best neighborhoods for X, Y, Z. And that way, when I go and search for things on Google to actually find things to book, I actually get really good insights from ChatGPT straight away on what to look for. So there's other different use cases like that, which are really great. It's more personal, but I still think it's worth sharing. That's about it. Thanks a lot for watching this video on how I use AI in my business. If you want to check out how I use Canva AI more specifically, then somewhere around here, you'll see a video about that. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.